Okay, let's set the scene. And buckle up because this story is straight out of a fashion soap opera. So, guess what? Meghan Markle just got blocked. Not unfollowed, not subtly ghosted. Blocked, like fashion industry exiled blocked. And the one doing the blocking? None other than Balenciaga. Yes, that Balenciaga. Word on the Paris runway is that Balenciaga didn't just close the door on Meghan. They slammed it shut, locked it, and tossed the key into the Seine. Dramatic? Maybe, but oh, it's real. Picture this. It's Paris Fashion Week. Lights flashing, cameras rolling, couture glittering everywhere, and the world's most elite fashion royalty strutting through like they own the planet. Then, in walks Meghan. And she's wearing something that doesn't just look like Balenciaga's latest collection. It's practically a mirror image. Same silhouette, same tone, same brooding, sculpted attitude. But here's the catch. It's not Balenciaga. And in the high-stakes world of luxury fashion, that's not flattery, that's war. Because when you're playing with brands like Balenciaga, a label built on shock, power, and absolute originality, imitation isn't just frowned upon, it's treated like a betrayal. They don't just make clothes, they craft stories. And Meghan, oh Meghan, she walked right into their narrative without permission. That's like stealing dialogue from a director's script. And the industry does not forgive that. The result? A domino effect that even the best PR team in the world couldn't contain. Suddenly, Paris insiders were buzzing, and not in a flattering way. What's going on with Meghan? Did you see that dress? Why would she do that? The whispers spread faster than perfume at a fashion gala. People started describing her as unpredictable, trying too hard, and worst of all, copying instead of creating. See, the high fashion world isn't just about fabrics and fittings. It's about trust and access. When a celebrity walks into a designer's private fitting, they don't just try on clothes. They see unreleased designs, secret mood boards, sketches nobody outside that room has ever seen. Those moments are sacred. They're vaults of creativity. And when that trust breaks, you're done. Period. That's exactly what's happening to Meghan right now. Quietly, subtly, but oh so efficiently, her name is being scrubbed off guest lists. Calls aren't being returned. Stylists who once called her a dream client, suddenly unavailable. The whispers turning into unwritten industry policy. One stylist even spilled that Meghan asks for exclusivity before she's earned it. Translation, she wants the privileges of a fashion queen without playing by the unspoken rules of the game. And in fashion, the game is everything. And let's be honest, this didn't come out of nowhere. Meghan's relationship with high fashion has always been complicated. Every time she tries to make a splash, something goes wrong. Either the outfit feels forced or the public turns it into drama. But this Balenciaga stunt? Oh, it didn't just stir the pot, it tipped the entire table. Rumor has it, she even tried to cozy up to fashion insiders through back channels, stylists, PR friends, friendly favors. But once Balenciaga realized her look was a straight-up replica, those back doors slammed shut. And then came the blacklist. Yes, it's real. The industry has one. It's not printed or published, but when you're on it, you know. Suddenly, invitations vanish, glam teams disappear. You go from sitting front row to not getting through the velvet rope at all. And that's where Meghan is headed. Fast. What's crazy is that this wasn't even supposed to be a big, bold red carpet statement. It was meant to be a simple, chic, stylish appearance. But instead, it blew the lid off just how fragile Meghan's standing in the fashion world really is. One copied outfit, one viral side-by-side comparison, and Balenciaga didn't hesitate. You're out. And here's the killer part. When a powerhouse like Balenciaga makes a move like that, everyone else in the luxury world takes notes. Dior, Givenchy, Louis Vuitton, they're all watching. Because in high fashion, brands don't just sell clothes, they sell control. And they don't hand that control over to someone who can't be trusted to play the game. So yeah, Meghan wanted a big comeback, to reclaim her throne as a style icon. But instead, she walked straight into a trap. One she set for herself. And honey, the fallout? Oh, it's just beginning. So now, the fashion world's whisper network is on fire. We're talking stylists gossiping in makeup rooms, editors sipping espresso and murmuring at side tables, PR girls rolling their eyes behind designer shades, all talking about the same thing. Meghan Markle's Balenciaga blunder. See, in this industry, it's never just about what you wear. It's about who you offend while wearing it. And Meghan, she offended everyone who matters. Behind those marble runway halls and closed atelier doors, word spreads fast. Faster than a trending hashtag. Designers started whispering that Meghan didn't just get inspired by Balenciaga, she replicated them. And not in a flattering tribute kind of way. More like in a strategic copy and sell it kind of way. It's being said, and mind you, said loudly in hushed circles, that Meghan and her team were using inspiration from unreleased fashion previews. Like they'd get a peek at sketches or pre-show ideas, then have local designers reproduce something almost identical, and then Meghan would step out in it acting like she'd invented the look. That kind of rumor, whether true or not, is pure poison in this world. Because luxury fashion runs on secrecy and respect. Designers open their studios only to people they trust. They expect those privileged few to keep what they see inside the vault. So when Meghan broke that unspoken rule, even if accidentally, the reaction was brutal. Brands didn't issue statements. They didn't have to. They just stopped calling. Suddenly, Meghan wasn't the girl everyone wanted front row. She was the name people quietly crossed off lists. You could almost feel the energy shift. Stylists once dying to dress her? Sorry. Scheduling conflicts? Makeup artists? Booked solid. The photographers? Oh, they got the memo too. She wasn't being framed the same way anymore, literally. Once the centerpiece of every photo, she's now the one cropped out. And let's talk about that for a second, the symbolism of it all. Because in fashion, being cropped out isn't just bad luck, it's a message. It says, you don't belong here anymore. Now, the rumor mill says the real breaking point came when Meghan showed up smiling, confident, and posing like she owned the runway. And right behind her, the Balenciaga look she'd allegedly copied, unmistakable. She thought she looked fierce. They thought she looked entitled. One Paris-based creative director reportedly sighed and said, she acts like access is a right, not a privilege. And that's when everything turned. Because in the fashion kingdom, access is sacred. You earn it with time, humility, and loyalty. Meghan? She walked in like she already had the crown. And now the theories are spinning. Some insiders whisper that Meghan wasn't just trying to make a fashion statement, so she was doing Reconnaissance. They believe she's planning to launch her own fashion line, using everything she's learned from those elite rooms as inspiration. Maybe even too much inspiration. If that's true, it changes everything. Because suddenly, all those meetings, all those fittings, weren't just appearances. They were research trips. And that makes people feel used. One Milan editor said it flat out, she's not building a relationship with fashion. She's harvesting from it, ouch. And you can feel that sting across the industry. Brands are stepping back, stylists are staying silent, PR teams, they're doing damage control from a safe distance. It's like the entire luxury world collectively decided, we'll pass. Meanwhile, Balenciaga, still bruised from its past controversies, absolutely couldn't afford another PR storm. The last thing they needed was Meghan Markle, royal, rebellious, and unpredictable, dragging them back into the drama spotlight. So when her copycat outfit went viral, Balenciaga's silence said it all. No statements, no public shade, just silence. The cold, final kind, and the timing couldn't have been worse for Meghan. She laughed, posed, even looked amused when a model tripped at the same event. And cameras caught it all. The internet turned those seconds into a narrative. Out of touch, insensitive, tone deaf. It was like watching someone crash a black tie dinner and then insult the host. From that moment on, the damage was unstoppable. Stylists refused her team's calls. Brands flagged her name on pre-show lists. Some PR firms even added clauses into their contracts that straight up said, no sharing designs with non-collaborative talent. Translation? Keep Meghan out. And that's when the real silence began. Not the noisy cancel culture kind. This was colder, more calculated. Because when fashion exiles you, it doesn't scream. It whispers you into nothingness. Bit by bit, the spotlight faded, and everyone could feel it. Meghan's once glowing aura dimming under the weight of suspicion. She wasn't being talked about like a muse anymore. She was being talked about like a risk. And once that label sticks in fashion, darling, it's deadly. Behind the glittering facade of Paris couture, the message had already been sent, and it hit harder than any headline ever could. Meghan Markle had officially crossed an invisible line. Balenciaga didn't need to announce it. They didn't release a statement. They didn't even throw shade through sources. They simply erased her. No more invitations, no fitting schedules, no pre-show emails. Her name just vanished, gone, like it had never been there. The once beloved royal turnstile icon had become a ghost in a world that worships presence. And here's the thing, in fashion, silence cuts deeper than any public feud. When the cameras stop flashing for you, when your stylist can't find your size, when your favorite PR girl suddenly isn't sure what the brand's direction is right now, that's the industry's way of saying, you're done. But Meghan didn't go quietly. Oh no. Her team started pushing their own version of the story, calling her forward-thinking, independent, a woman redefining fashion on her own terms. But instead of redemption, it sounded like desperation. The press blurbs read forced. The social posts felt staged. It was as if she was trying to rebrand the scandal before it even stopped trending. But insiders weren't buying it. Because at this point, nobody was looking at what Meghan wore. They were asking why she wore it. Was it homage, a statement, or was it all just a calculated move to provoke the industry into reacting so she could claim her own rebel narrative? If that was the plan, it backfired spectacularly. After Balenciaga's quiet cut, other houses began to follow suit. Dior went silent. Givenchy, once open to working with her, tightened its access lists. Louis Vuitton simply declined to comment. And that, in PR speak, is a nail in the coffin. No brand wanted to be the next to get caught in a copycat headline. No one wanted the association. It wasn't about loyalty. It was about damage control. One designer in Milan summed it up perfectly. It's not that she wore the wrong dress, it's that she wore the right one without permission. That line echoed through every fashion office from Milan to New York. Even Meghan's longtime supporters in the fashion media, the ones who once called her the next global style icon, started pulling back. Their tone changed. Instead of trailblazer, they wrote polarizing. Instead of trendsetter, they said controversial. Every adjective softened, every headline careful. Because in fashion, trust is everything. And hers had snapped like a delicate thread. Fashion loves a rebel, but it only crowns rebels who play the long game. The ones who know when to push, when to pause, and when to bow quietly before creating something of their own. Meghan didn't pause. She sprinted straight into the one rule you never break: never copy the crown when you want to wear it. Now she's left standing outside the gates of couture, looking in at a world that's already moved on. And that, darling, is the cruel poetry of fashion. The higher you rise in borrowed light, the faster the darkness claims you when it's gone.